What's up guys, DJ is back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about eBay sold listings versus actual listings. I think a lot of people don't take actual listings into account when they're either buying or selling their Pokemon cards or we use sold listings a lot. It is gospel when it comes to selling or buying your cards. Everyone says use sold listings to figure out the value. Of course, I myself use that too, but I believe there are so many different ways to find a value, and you got to take all of that into account, including actual listings. So in this video, we're going to talk about sold listings, actual listings, and all the other avenues you can take to value your Pokemon card collection. Let's go. Alrighty guys, let's get this party started. My name is DJ and let's get talking about eBay listings. Sold listings is a tool that a lot of us use because there is no real set price on these cards. Like you don't go to your catalog, your Big W catalog or whatever, and say, hey, this is $10, this is $15. I think with the sealed product, it's a bit more like that. Even though that's more particularly with the newer stuff, and it's even that, like Hidden Fates, for example, once it was released and they had the regular retail price, after regular retail price, it just went into the black market, or just the market. It went on eBay, Facebook, all that social media stuff, and the prices were the prices that we wanted it to be. We set the price. Pokemon prices are so up and down, they're so random. But in a way, it's not, right? So I guess, saying random is a bit naive. But what I'm trying to say is we don't have a go-to place that, this is the law. This is the price for this card, and this is how much it's always going to be. You go to McDonald's, you buy a cheeseburger, it's always $2. Even if it's popular demand and there was low supply, let's say, McDonald's only had like 100 burgers left, and they're all cheeseburgers, and there was 1,000 people that wanted cheeseburgers. They don't raise the price, it's just $2 flat. Once they sell all those 100 cheeseburgers, they're sold out. That's how it works with other markets, or, I guess with chains, or, it doesn't matter, like toilet paper, right? That was high on demand at Safeway and, Coles and stuff. Supermarkets here in Australia, I don't know about overseas or not, but toilet paper went off when COVID-19 started. And you know what? Those shopping centers, they did not raise the price. You know who did raise the price is everyone else on the market, eBay sellers and all that. They're like, ooh, buy a roll for $10, $20. But even when Woolies got more stock, or, Big W or wherever you went shopping, even if they did get more stock, they did not raise the price. They kept the price the same, regular retail price, and that's how it is. But with Pokemon, that's a little different. It's kind of working the same, right? If you go to Kmart and you buy a tin, it's $40. If you go to eBay, you buy a tin that's like new, it's still $40. However, there is stuff that is out of stock that you won't be able to find at Kmart, and that's where all these raw cards come from, PSA graded cards. You can't find them at Kmart, Big W, those kind of shops, right? Your big box retailers. So that's why we kind of set the price for these cards. Now, when we set these prices, we look at sold listings a lot, right? And, it's fair. We try to value the cards to where it was, or what the last sold listing was, or, just an average of what the sold listings were. And, it sounds fair, right? And there's other ways to value, I guess, with singles especially. People use TCG Player, Troll and Toad. I think Z&G Emporium has a site now that does the values, but I'm pretty sure that's just for the Wizards of the Coast stuff. So even for newer cards, I don't think he has that on his website. I could be wrong. And then there's also that PSA PokemonPrice.com thing that you can check for PSA cards. But a lot of us use eBay sold listings, and all of that kind of just is the market. That's where we get our prices from. But this is the thing, we don't really look at the actual listings, or I see a lot of people making fun of actual listings, like, oh, that's a joke of a price. It shouldn't be like that. And it's just a little bit funny because those sold listings used to be actual listings at one stage, right? And in order for that actual listing to transfer to a sold listing, someone would have bought it at that price. So at some stage, all these prices, you know, they were at its lowest point when it first came out, or, you know, back 20 years ago, you buy a base set booster pack for like $2, $3 or $5 or whatever it is. And obviously you can't find one at that same price now because it's just how it is. Now, with actual listings, I know there's a lot of people listing things, I think for silly prices, but also at the same time, for them, that price might not be so silly. They might not be able to tell the difference between a PSA 10 Charizard versus a raw Charizard. So some people are listing their raw Charizards for like a PSA 8 copy, or like it's not even graded. They think, oh, they saw another price for a Charizard for this price, and they're like, oh, I have the same thing, I'll sell for that. So sometimes it just comes to miscommunication or some sort of information lapse, like they just didn't know, so they listed it at that price. And for other reasons, I guess it would be for flexing. So they're trying to show their collection, they're trying to say, hey, kind of like S.M. Pratt's Pikachu illustrated card that's going, you know, he's listed for $2 million. Obviously, the last one sold for, I think, $200,000. Pokerev's listing for, I think, $1 million. You know, I didn't do the values, but who knows that all those boxes are worth that much? It probably is, but obviously there is a premium, and it's also like, you know, showing it off on the actual listing. You know, this is what I've got, this is my price. And obviously they set the price up to a bar where, you know, they know that no one's going to pay for that, so they get to keep it. They're just showing off in a way, right? And that's nothing wrong. You know, people are proud of their collection. The other thing is with actual listings, people use their emotional value to advertise. So you see people putting up their prize collection for, I don't know, $3,000, and other people look at that, it's like, you know, that is definitely not worth $3,000. But to that person, there are value to it, you know, because they grew up with those cards. They don't really want to sell. They just want to, you know, show this is what, you know, their cards that they have, and that's what it means to them. So that's why they price it at that. And obviously, you know, people don't have to buy. They could just keep going. But what I'm trying to say with actual listings, there is actual legitimate actual listings that you need to take into account when you're either buying or selling your cards. Now, when it comes to selling, a lot of people say, you know, how do I value? And then everyone refers them to the sold listings part of things, and, you know, that's good. But I'm going to share with you an example, right? So let's say I was going to sell my PSA 10 Venusaur, right? Everyone knows that I have one, and, you know, it's probably one of my best cards, my prize, my most valuable card. Now, if you go on sold listings, all the prices go from $1,200, $1,600, $1,800 at the most, right? So they're fluctuating between $1,000 and $1,800, and, you know, it's just up and down, up and down. And, you know, that's hard to be like, well, you know, where do you price it at? Do you price it at 1,000? Do you price it at 1,800, the higher end, the lower end? And I guess, you know, it's already a 10. So it's not it's not a raw card where you say, oh, the condition's near mint. It's already graded. It's 10. I guess it has an old label, so maybe some people will be like, oh, old label should be lower, you know, price range. But that is sold listings, right? Now, on the screen, I'll put up what people are listing it for. Now, there's only one or two, I believe, and both of those listings are way above 2,000, 2,200, and there is also one where it has Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur for $3,500. Now, I do have that line, by the way. But what I'm trying to say is, what should I price it at if I was to sell it? I'm asking you guys, what do you think? Do you think I should price it at the, you know, the 3,500 mark where I have those three? Or, you know, I sell the Venusaur for like just 2,000, 2,100. The thing is, right, sold listings and anything prior to that is in the past. Now, I don't want to do like back to the future with you guys or anything like that. But, you know, I do, you know, I like that whole history thing where you gotta, you know, base prices on what it sold for back in the day. But the thing is, we're living in the here and now, and in the past is the past. Even if it sold last month, 2 days ago, a week ago, prices change. Prices change overnight. The thing is, this is what I'm thinking. If I put my Venusaur up for the old prices that they were last month or 2 days ago, and you see that listing, you see 3 Venusaur listings, right? You see one selling for 2,200, there's another one for 3,500 or whatever, and then I put mine at like 1,600 because that's what it sold for. That's my justification. You know how quick that's gonna get probably snapped up? I reckon it'll be like snapped up real quick, because the other people look at those listings. Ooh, this is the cheapest one on the market. This is the best one to get. Now, it seems fair to the buyer, but does that seem fair to the seller? If it was me, I think I would actually list it for the similar range as those other listings. Because why would I sell myself short when I know other people are listing it? That's the only one available on the market. If there's only one card available on the market and it's like $5,000, I might not list it at $5,000, but I'll definitely list it close to that. I want to be competitive with other people. I know some people are flippers out there and they just focus on that whole, quick gain kind of thing. But at the collector side of me, I don't need to sell that card, right? And yeah, guys, I'm not selling it, by the way. I'm just saying, this is an example. But if I was to sell it, I'm not in a rush to sell it. I don't need the money. Collector first, investor second. That's what I always like to think of myself. But, with the Venusaur card, I would price it very similar to those other listings, and stay competitive in the market. Why not? Why sell myself short of like $400 or $500 just because the past says that, this is what it sold for? Now, it's hard to tell. I know with some cards, there might not be any actual listings. There might not be any sold listings. So how do you base your, how do you price it, right? So that's where you got to ask a lot of people with experience, and I guess use your other research tools, Troll and Toad, TCG Player, PSAprice.com, Pokemon Price, something like that. There's plenty of resources out there, and to say just use sold listings from eBay or even those other past things, anything with the past it's the past. I know we reference it a lot, because the past leads us to the future and leads us to the present. But you also got to think about the prices that are, that aren't sold yet. I know it sounds a little silly, but I like to think and try to include everything into the equation, because I want to make sure that the price is fair for both me and the buyer, because that's what you want. I don't want to make someone unhappy, and I don't want to be unhappy myself. So if I was to price something, I would look at sold listings first, and then I'll look at the actual listings, what's on the market. Sometimes there might be 5 or 10 of the same card that you're trying to sell or that you're trying to buy, and you look at sold listings, they're all, especially now in this market, they're all relative, like really low compared to what's actually out there. And there's a reason for that. People aren't willing to let go of their stuff for what the prices used to be. And it's like saying, I'm going to sell my booster packs, my old school booster packs for what they were selling for back in the day. Like, why would I do that? I know that's a bit irrational because everyone says sold listings, like use your, the listings from the really recent, like maybe the past month or past just this 6 months. But it still sounds a little silly to me. Why would I price something for what sold, I don't know. Maybe you guys have an answer. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? What would you price the Venusaur at, do you reckon? Do you reckon you should sell it for what it used to sell for, between 1,000 and 1,800? Or should I go with the prices that are currently listed? One's for 22, one's for 24, and there's some going for $3,500. Why would I sell myself short? I just don't understand. Like, I would definitely, obviously I'm not going to be like, hey, I want 10,000. And I do see listings like that. I do, and people make fun of them. And I understand why they make fun of them, because they know, those listings are just outrageous. They're silly. But, you don't have to buy it, right? So you can tell the difference from an actual listing that is, you know, a little bit silly, a little bit really out of this world, right? And actual listings that are, you know, legitimate. You know, I'd say the current listings for the Venusaur or even for some other cards are legitimate listings. I don't think they're that bad prices, you know. The last Venusaur sold for 1,800, roughly like that. And the cheapest Venusaur you can find right now, PSA 10, is 2,200. That's the lowest. So that's already a jump from 1,800 sold listings to 2,200. So that's $400. And if I was to put mine up, I'd definitely put mine way like above $2,000. I don't think I would try to sell it for under that. I just wouldn't. Why would I do that? Like, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm not saying sold listings is bad, and I'm not saying actual listings is good either. So I'm thinking when you're trying to buy or sell cards, you got to take both into account. You got to use all your options, you know, especially when you're selling, because you want to make sure that you're selling for a fair price for you and for this, you know, the buyer. And if you're buying cards, you want to know that you're buying for the lowest possible, I guess. You know, that's how it always is. You know, sellers always want to try just to get a profit and you know, sell high, whereas buyers are always looking for a good deal and, you know, buy cheap. So either way, you know, you got to do your homework, you got to do your research. Sold listings, take actual listings into account as well. Don't think they're a joke. You know, respect them. Give them a little bit of respect, guys. You know, even though there's some silly ones, definitely you will find some actual listings, you know, that can be helpful, you know, to set your price or to, you know, try to find a bargain. Anyway, guys, that is all I have. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you just use sold listings? Do you use both actual listings, sold listings? I want to know what your thoughts are. See you guys next time. 2-3 days time. Hopefully 2 works a bit crazy. But that's all. See you guys next time.